Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz Interview Series with veteran jazz pianist and composer Lynne Arriale on the 2024 CD called Being Human. This is her 17th album as a leader and her 4th for Challenge Records International. This new venture is a suite of original compositions that explores life-affirming facets of humankind. Being Human is dedicated to the things that define our better nature and to those individuals, whether celebrated or unsung, who personify them. She comes back to the program with her passion, insight, and wisdom. Enjoy this interview.
Lynne, it's so great to catch up with you. Thank you for taking a minute out to talk about being human and kind of catching up a little bit.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be with you again.
Absolutely. So I would love to begin before we get into the brand new album, which is wonderful, by asking you, right now we're on our 4-year anniversary of this pandemic. And I'm curious, how did you survive that COVID period as an artist? And how did it subsequently change you?
That's a great question. I had many tour dates canceled. That was around the time that Chimes of Freedom was released. And right before I was going to go out on tour, everything shut down. And I think I was supposed to be in Europe for a couple of weeks and a lot of dates in the US. And then, of course, we all know what happened after that. We all dealt with it, not knowing how long it would last. We just didn't know what was going to happen. It was obviously a very scary time and a very difficult time for many performing musicians whose income comes solely from performing. I continue to be a university professor at the University of North Florida, and we taught virtually. And I was very grateful to have a job. Many of my colleagues were really struggling. So we all got through it. And of course, we lost many loved ones, and everybody has been changed after this incredible experience. And thankfully, we got to the other side of it together.
Absolutely. So this album is a real outgrowth of this time period, correct?
Yes, as was the one prior to this called The Lights Are Always On, which was inspired by an interview I heard with Dr. Prakash Gata of Tacoma, Washington, who said, "I'm here treating COVID patients, and no matter what happens, no one works from home. The lights are always on." And I was so struck by the power and generosity and great humanity of all the healthcare workers who sacrifice so much and are so dedicated to taking care of us, even in the most difficult times. And many lost their lives. I mean, this is very, a very profoundly impactful time. And I also expanded that theme because I was thinking the light of humanity is always on. The lights of humanity are always on, no matter what's going on, and even in the midst of such devastation. And I dedicated other songs on that album to heroes of mine, people who have really changed our world for the good. And this next album is really a response to the division that we see in our country and throughout the world. And I wanted to send a message of unity and hope, and kind of focus on what qualities we all share as human beings and what qualities define our humanity, what makes us do what we do as human beings. And so there are many selections such as passion and love, curiosity, persistence, and many others that reflect what it means to be human.
So talk to me a little bit about how you artistically put this album together and how it took the final form that it is right now.
It takes me a long time to create music for an album, almost a year. And I start writing, and I may have a theme in mind, or it may form along the way. But I did have a theme in this case. The title, Being Human, is kind of a play on words, like human being and then being human. And I liked that. And I thought about what it is to be a human being. And then I thought, for example, about the title, Passion. what would passion sound like? And I started writing. There's a very intuitive process when we're writing, and sometimes ideas just come, and sometimes we have to try many different things. I will write an initial idea, and then after that, I might modify it and come up with many different options of what needs to come next. And that's been my process for many years. And sometimes a tune takes months to complete. It's not quite right, or, there's this section at the end, it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere, or, whatever. And I keep looking at it and listening and refining it over time. And then I have to learn how to play the songs and bring them to life and think about the feel that each tune should have. Should it be faster, slower? Should it be a straight eighth or open eighth kind of feel, which is a musical term, but it's a particular kind of feel? Or should it swing, and so forth? And there's a variety of different feels on this album. I wanted each tune to really have its unique space and be a particular color on the album.
So at the end of the day, what are you hoping the listener gets from this album?
I would like the listener to feel love and to feel emotion and to feel hope. Even the smallest way, I would be happy if people felt a sense of uplift after listening to the music. That's the message.
So this is your 17th album. How have you consistently been relevant and evolved and just putting out such great stuff? How has this habit become such a great career for you?
Well, thank you for your kind words. I just try to keep growing as a person and as an artist, and try to expand my range emotionally and musically. And to me, it's just a tiny step at a time, a millimeter at a time. I feel that I grow slowly, but everything in life affects me, the people I know, the things that I do in my life. And so I hope that I will continue to grow and evolve as an artist. And I always think of the great Pablo Casals. He was asked at 93 why he kept practicing, and he was one of the great cellists in our world. And he said, "Well, I'm starting to see signs of improvement." And so I hope I can be talking with you when I'm 93, which is not for a while, and say, well, yeah, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this, playing jazz. I think maybe it's starting to make sense. So I have to do a lot to keep my body healthy, because I want to be here when I'm 93.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this. What is going on as far as live shows? The warm months are coming, things are unfolding. How is everything playing out for the promotion of this album and just in general?
Well, things are very busy. I just got back from the Midwest, and I played in Madison, Milwaukee, and Whitewater. And now I'm going to be playing a concert in Jacksonville, my hometown, this Saturday, in Orlando on Friday, and in Avon on Sunday. And then I have just 5 or 6 days, and then I go to Europe for 2 weeks. And we're playing in London and Munich and Lausanne and Switzerland and many other beautiful cities. And then I come back, and there are additional dates in Minneapolis and Indianapolis and Chicago, Moline. And I'm just going to continue to play, and I'm looking forward to seeing the audience and connecting with them, and hopefully bringing positive energy through the music to the people who are listening.
I have no doubt. So this is your 17th as a leader, your 4th for Challenge Records International. How can people most effectively pick this up in either physical form, stream it, or find out about live shows?
They can go to any of the platforms, and if they just type in Lynne, Lynne, and my last name is Arriale, And if they type in Being Human, I posted the entire album on YouTube. And I also have my website, which is lynneariale.com. And there's a section of for my calendar, which shows all the upcoming dates. And people can sign up for the mailing list. And then I will email them directly when I have shows coming up. And also I'm on all social media platforms as well.
Excellent. Lynne, it's been so nice to catch up with you. Thank you for another wonderful album. Best of luck. And I look forward to talking to you when you're in your 90s to get your reflections.
Thank you so much. It's always a joy to talk with you. And I want to thank you for the beautiful work that you're doing. And thank you so much for sharing music with people and for bringing great energy into the world.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players and minds in LA, New York City, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. Thanks to Lynne for her time and story. If you want to hear more Neon Jazz interviews, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to us at YouTube, and for everything Neon Jazz, go to theneonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.